Hello all, how are y'all doing today? Well, I want to kind of go over a little bit of our pre-maintenance and everything before we go head down to where we're really considering putting our garden area at. And there's a bunch of little trees and stuff we need to cut down and rip up. And so before we get started on that, I'm just going to go over a little bit of maintenance with our saw here. Got our little saw, so before you start going on, of course, I didn't do the cleanup after the last time I used it. So normally they always come with one of these little tools that has a little screwdriver on the end. Take a spark plug out, and then take your to tighten and adjust everything down here. But this is an electric chainsaw, but they still send you this tool. I don't know why they need to add this on. I guess they get them in bulk. I don't know. So you just want to untighten your bolts. What I like to do is make sure you get, because they use oil, so always want to get all the oil and everything off, and it collects a little dirt and everything in there, so you make sure you get all that out. And just do a quick little wipe down of getting all the wood fibers and dirt that are on it out. And then I double check the little sprocket here to make sure there's nothing up back behind it that's going to mess it up, so it still goes free. And of course, you always want to make sure you've got your chain going in the correct direction, because, put it on the other way, you're going to find out it's going to be really hard and tough to cut through any logs. So normally you have these little guide teeth that kind of point forward, and so that's the way you want them to go. On my saw here, I've got this little screw here in the front and the side of it for quick and easy adjustment. Sometimes I've seen on some older ones, they've got a screw set up here. But I've seen a lot of the newer ones and stuff, they normally have it right here in between those two bolts. Line your sprocket back up, chain around it. You've got a little pin, that's what moves the bar forward and back by this little set screw. Get it all in there. Put our cover back on. I normally just kind of hand tighten those up a little bit. You can see my chain's still really loose. And we'll just tighten up our screw. Tighten up our chain. Tighten down your screws. Try not to over tighten them. My wife has a big problem with over tightening everything. She just doesn't know her own strength half the time, There we go. I've also got this it's a little greaser. And on most of all your chainsaw bars, you'll have a little bitty pinhole up here in the front to where it greases the sprocket that this chain runs around. So you always want to make sure to keep your sprocket and your bar to work good, to keep this greased up. And so it's just got a little spring press. And you'll see a little grease poke out of it. And that normally means that it's all greased up. There's normally 2 holes on each side. I normally just hit both holes, make sure I see a little grease come out on both ends. Even though it's electric, like I was saying, it still uses your bar oil. So make sure that before every time you use it, that you have it filled up because that'll definitely lengthen the time of your bar and your chain as long as it's properly oiled up. And of course, last thing you'll need to do is check your fuel. On a gas one, you'll check your fuel. On mine, I just check my battery. Over there. Insert it in. We're all set to go. Of course, we've got a lot to clear, but this isn't what we're planning on putting in the cart. This is, of course, just all of our bamboo. And of course, when you start clearing some bamboo, then you find things like this. That's got to go too. So, go ahead down to the garden area, or the hopefully garden area, and get rid of some of those little small trees and things that are in that area.
So this is where we're planning on putting the garden. Where we've got a small ridge behind us that we're going to probably cut and make a retaining wall and divert some of the runoff from our neighbors to one of two areas. And it's a fairly large spot, and we'll show some before and after pictures near the end. So what we're going to do today is really just start clearing. So
we'll show you the tools that we're going to use. We're going to use a chainsaw, and then a little extra special thing that works pretty good. So.
We will be getting the tractor out. So a lot of this is going to be on time lapse because we don't want to bore you with just constant us cutting trees. But stay tuned to the end, and we will explain the tools we use, and we will provide links to those in the description below.
All right, let's get started. Well. That's always something. Make sure you always check those tires before you start moving around. I obviously got a little bitty small leak or something in this one tire. It's been holding up pretty good, but when we got this from Coyote, they filled it up with beet juice in here to give some weight, extra weight to the tractor for picking up things and everything. And I believe they say that they fill that thing up pretty much, it goes all the way up to about here, all the way around. And they use beet juice because it weighs more than water, and it's supposed to not be corrosive. And so, like I was told by Tim Taylor, the guy we got this from at BRB Tractor, that you always want to have that valve stem all the way up, because if you have it anywhere along the bottom and you start putting air in it and checking your pressure, you're going to have that beet juice shooting back out, and then, well, it takes away from the extra weight you had in your tire. See, and you can see there's a little bit of that beet juice coming out even with it even at the very top. And just a tad bit more. That's probably about 24. We'll go with it. But yeah, there's a little bit that'll be stuck in the valve and stuff, but yeah, that's what that beet juice is. And so if you had that down here at the bottom, it would just shoot on out. Little small quick tip, I guess. Alright, so probably wondering why I was topping all these off still a little tall, and I was trying to get most of the little small branches out of these because we found this little tool, and sometimes, you know, I normally try to go as low cost as I can when I'm trying to do things because, you know, everybody's on a budget. But we found this little brush grabber, I think it's called. And you know, you can get them like all kinds of places. I think this one was $60-something, I think, just for this. And this is designed to supposedly take out up to 4-inch trees. But you know, you gotta cut them off short. You know, you don't want to do them tall because then it would just, once you start to pull them, it would just come right down on top of you. But it's pretty nice. We found out that all you gotta do is just slip it right over the top of that tree, and it's got all these little pin teeth in there, and these little heads rotate and swivel so that when you grab it, it'll swivel with it, and these will stick into the tree pretty well. But like we said, we found out on a lot of these smaller trees, as long as you've got it trimmed back, instead of trying to open this up and get it around, it seems to work out pretty good if you just slide it right over the top of it. And then get you a chain and hook up to it. So I can get the chain hooked to go on this thing. And it'll start to wrap around that thing and grab it and pull it out. We've used it a couple times and it works pretty darn good. Every once in a while, depending on the tree you're doing, you know, sometimes they've got long tap roots and things like that, so you've got to take a little axe or something sometimes and chop at it a little bit. And then the key, of course, is just to get the tension, tighten your chain, you know, slowly with your tractor. Or actually, I think the box said that you can technically even use an ATV or your pickup truck or, you know, anything like that. But just slowly, you know, start off. You don't want to just full blast because you'll probably rip out you know, your rear end or something. You know, that won't be good. So just, you know, you just slowly go and just slowly hit your gas, and it rips them up normally really good. So we'll give you a show of that, and let's see if I don't make a liar out of this tool.
We love this stump puller. Granted, it doesn't grab the biggest stumps. We'll have to rent a stump grinder or burn out some of these. But for all these little ones, you don't want to till them in because they will mess up your tractor. Some of those roots are pretty big. If they're really tiny ones, you don't have to really worry about it. But some of these up to 4 inches, if we can pull it out with this root grabber, then we will. And I can't tell you how much I love this tool. So we are going to continue clearing the rest of this for today, and we're going to put an end to this right now. But if you know anyone that is trying to clear land themselves without hiring anyone, share our channel with them so they can see just what all it takes and how much work you have to go through to do this. So don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell notification so you never miss a video, and we will see you next time. Have a great day.